With the basket right there, he's got 10. Dragic picks up the foul. Number one.
Excuse me, Kevin. There's a previous play as Barbosa reaches in and knocks that ball out of the hands of Tony Parker, but I like what he did. He knew that the last play he thought there was contact on him, so he went right back to the rim. He gets the score and gets to the foul line. Now, the other night when he fell on his shoulder, he missed straight free throws. All 10 of his points are in the paint like they were the other night. Let's see how he shoots the free throw here tonight. He knocks down the first one. As I said before, that goes in the first half, 8 of 17. They'd had an 18-point lead, and he and Duncan missed 8 that really, I thought, took the air out of this building.
Tony Parker's got 11. That is a game high. As you see the battle for the ball, Hill, Dragic, the close by George Hill. Off the fingertips of Duncan, he finally was shoved on the play by the Suns, and a drive inside. Beautiful drive inside by Dragic.
But give Lou Amundsen the credit. He went down there, got that 50-50 ball, and gave his team another possession. In games like this, if you're the Spurs, you've got to come up with those plays. You're down 3-0. You cannot let the Suns beat you on hustle plays.
Dragic has his first 2. Ginobili finding Duncan. And a lot of Duncan's points tonight have come right in that lane, close range.
Well, there's no way that Amundsen can play Duncan. So if they will move him around and get him the ball, he'll either have an easy play like that or he's going to be able to find an outside shooter.
Dudley works on Bonner with the shot clock down to 10. All called on Bonner. Just trying to move around the wing. That's the first called on Bonner. Marty, what do you have?
Kev, I was talking to Steve Nash yesterday about what surprised him in this series. He said, honestly, sometimes our hustle, he said, those 50-50 balls like we've seen all night long, as you've been talking about, Coach, we're getting to those. In the past, that would be San Antonio getting to those balls. We're out physicaling them, or if that's a word, we're being more physical than they are, and that's been the difference in his mind, Kevin.
How about the pickup by Ginobili and George Hill at the other end? Nice transition right there. Or San Antonio Spurs. We go up by 5. They've led by 9. The Suns have never led. Dragic works into Hill. Little foul. Just picking up on what he was talking about. Nash says those mental moments, Doug, are what he's most proud of. And again, winning those share of those 50-50 baskets.
Well, watch what happens here. Look who comes loose with this ball. Amundsen dives in there, picks it out, kicks it out to his team, and they end up getting a field goal on that play. Those add up, Kevin. All of a sudden, you get 3, 4, 5 of those, gives your team 8 or 10 points, or you hit a couple of threes. Those are momentum plays, and that's what has endeared this bench to Alvin Gentry. Is Dudley, Amundsen. Those are the kind of plays they make. All of a sudden, they pick up a loose ball. They find Channing Frye. He knocks down a 3. Those are demoralizing for the opponent.
Dragic with 3. Parker with 11. And Manu Ginobili is picked up by Grant Hill. With the shot clock down to 10. It's Tim Duncan facing a double, and he travels as he was twirling right into the defense of Leandro Barbosa.
We see what happens there. Duncan started to come up to set the screen, and basically they were just going to wall it. Amundsen steps to one side, Grant Hill the other, so Duncan slips the screen. He catches the ball. Watch, he's going to slip it. They're going to wall him. He slips it, and then Barbosa steps in there. He fumbles the ball, and he gets called for the walk. So you can see instead of setting the screen tonight, Duncan is looking to slip that, and if he catches it, you put a three-point shooter in that opposite corner. If he doesn't have the shot, the man in the corner will be wide open.
Richard Jefferson just checks in from Manu Ginobili. Amundsen a screen for Hill. Here comes Barbosa, picked up by Tony Parker. We're approaching 7 to play here in the first half. Barbosa. Rebound by Bonner. Yep, you're right, Coach. Amundsen gets that one.
Careless play by Bonner.
Turnover number 8 to San Antonio. It's Barbosa inside. A shove. San Antonio foul. Bonner was down low defending. The speed merchant by Bonner picks up the foul number 2. Doug, that was one of your keys tonight. How do you like the pace of the game so far?
Well, I think it's where the Suns like it, and I think the Spurs have done a nice job getting easy baskets. Again, are they going to be able to do it for 48 minutes? It's going to be Drogic, and he's going to get a three-point play opportunity. Reminding McCutcheon rules that George Hill gets over and gets the block. So once again tonight, Drogic misses a couple shots, but he is staying aggressive. George Hill there sliding, and Drogic with a great concentration, actually going right and stepping back and kissing this off the board with his left hand, his strong hand. So he will go to the line with a chance for a three-point play.
Credits a lot of what he has become as a pro, not only to Alvin Gentry, Doug, but Steve Nash and Grant Hill. In fact, Grant Hill went to YouTube last year to take a look at some old clips when he played in Slovenia when he was struggling as rookie. He said, hey, you're a heck of a player, and gave him some confidence.
Sometimes you just need that breakout performance.
Parker with the drive inside and the foul as he was going right into the teeth of that Phoenix defense, and 6:32 to play in the second quarter. Tony Parker has been aggressive. Drogic picks up his second personal foul. TNT in June. It's a new season and a new reason to get more leverage. The Leverage 2-hour season premiere event is Sunday, June 20th at 9, 8 Central. That's only on TNT. Sometimes you've got to rely on those veterans, whether it's your coach or your veterans, as in the case of Drogic, for picking up and going to the right sources.
Coaches love great veterans because it takes a lot off their plate. You know, players get tired of listening to coaches. You know, I've always said, you know, a coach, when he talks a lot of times, it's viewed as criticism. When the player speaks, it's leadership. And so, you know, when your peer is talking to you in those kind of situations, it means a lot to you. I mean, he understands what Grant Hill and Steve Nash have done in this league throughout their career. You're going to listen to those kind of guys. I mean, Grant Hill, had he not been injured, was a surefire Hall of Fame player, won championships at Duke, and almost won his third his senior year.
Roger Mesa shoots in for San Antonio across the lane. Stoudemire can't convert. Here comes Tony Parker the other way. Parker's 5 of 8. Roger Mason, he's been a Suns killer over the years. Duncan keeps it alive with a little tap right there and a fresh 24-second shot clock. Parker with a drive into Nash. And off to Tony Parker with another turnover. That's 9 turnovers, 6 in this second quarter for the Spurs.
See, as I'm sitting here, I feel like the Spurs have outplayed the Suns decidedly, and they're only up 2. And that's sort of what has happened. And the Suns just keep hanging around. The Spurs go through these stretches where they struggle to score, they start missing shots, and what happens is the Suns get on a hot streak. Let's see what happens here as we go into halftime.
Parker picks up his first foul. Suns shooting 36%, but as Doug said, down by just 2.
Not good enough, I'm telling you guys. Don't dig a hole for yourself. Hey, it's not going to happen like it did the other night. We can't use all of our energy to get back even again. Now, that's not good enough, guys. Get your head in the game, get playing.
They say that, but Doug, they're trying to cash in on.
Greg Popovich is telling his team their turnovers. It's given the Suns 12 points. So their turnovers. Look at this game. Ginobili has not scored yet. He's 0 for 2. And for this, their starting players have 13. The bench 20.
And the Phoenix bench has been a story in the series with Barbosa at the free throw line. And the guy who gives them great speed, obviously. Now the Suns plus 10 in the bench point category. Stoudemire's out there, Richardson, Grant Hill, and Nash, and the only bench guy on the floor right now is Barbosa, who used to be a starter for the Phoenix Suns.
And not only that, but he played quality minutes many years through the playoffs. One playoff series, or one year he averaged almost 16 a game. So he's a guy who I thought early in the playoffs was really rushing, settled into a nice rhythm, playing better on the road than he did at home.
Ginobili finds Jefferson and moves him into the rack, and that's when he is at his best by 2 points. And they've got to win tonight to keep the series alive.
And that's what Al Henry talked about early in the game, getting the ball in there.
I like how he kind of gets his shoulder inside Duncan, too.
Well, when he gets that quick step, he's strong enough. Once you get that shoulder inside, then you're at the offensive player's mercy.
Stoudemire with 9, now defending Duncan at the other end, and Tim Duncan answering with 2 of his own. He's got 8. Approaching 5 to play here in the second quarter.
See, now with Amar'e Stoudemire playing the 5 spot, now it's forcing Duncan to play him. He's going to isolate. Remember now, Duncan has 2 fouls. Let's see if they help.
Phoenix Suns shooting 38%. Nice ball rotation. Richardson for 3. The closeout by Hill. The rebound by Jefferson. Here comes Roger Mason Jr. And by the defense is Steve Nash. Knocked away by Stoudemire and picked up by Hill. Another turnover. The 10th by San Antonio. They could not turn the ball over like that if they want to survive. By Stoudemire. Nash to Amari. Pick and pop.